Hey guys, it's Ashley with the Haircut Box. This haircut is a mid-length all scissor haircut. So if you don't like the short clipper cuts or you don't like the long shaggy cuts, this is the perfect cut for you. Remember, if you like what you see, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. To show you an all scissor haircut. We actually did a tutorial on him a few months ago. It was a long clipper cut and this is the grown out style. So obviously this needs a little bit more shaping because this used to be short clipper cut. We're just going to reshape this, keep the length, and make it work for him. Get the hair really wet. The more wet it is, the more control you have. He just kind of pushes these sides back and lets this long hair flow. We're just going to start with the outline of the hair. Make sure you put the head down. So right here, it's just kind of like, can you see those ends are just kind of straggly, but I love how this like flips up. So we still want to keep that. And then just section out a little piece in the back. I like to section out from like the end of my finger to my first knuckle, because if you get back into here, the hair's not gonna, you can't hold that hair tight. Put their head down, and then I'm going to turn my scissors at an angle, and we're going to just make small angle cuts. So we're basically doing a straight line that's jagged. So see all those little jagged? That will just help it so it doesn't look like a bulk cut. So then you grab some that you haven't cut and some that you have cut and match that line. So I've now done the back of the hair. Now I'm going to move over here by the ear. Remember when you're cutting behind the ear to put the head forward? Now that I'm cutting in front, I'm just going to put that head up and connect all these dots. So remember, the haircut is all about connecting the dots. So I'm just going to blend all of this together. Now we're just going to comb this hair forward with the bangs, and we want to make sure that it's super even, but also definitely not like blunt Dumb and Dumber bangs. So we're going to pull this forward, and we're going to take, instead of little V cuts in the front, we're actually going to take deeper V cuts, and this will just give him a little bit more movement in the front of his hair. So if it's not parted exactly perfect, it's still going to look good. Now that the outline is done, we're just going to work on the top part of his hair. We're going to part about an inch right down the middle and work on that mohawk section. So you can see how I have just that inch parted. Then I'm going to comb all of this up. So since it's longer hair, I want a little bit more movement in the hair. You can see that since it's a clipper cut grown out, it's very blunt at the top. We are going to pull this section up and leave about 2 inches out, turn our scissors at an angle, and just make really deep V cuts. So you can see how there's not a ton of length off, but a lot of texture going to happen in this hair. So now we continue that mohawk section. You can see where you have cut right here and where you haven't, and just match all of that together. Now I'm going to take little sections and pull this all up to match this middle mohawk section. So you can see that's where I've cut. And then I'm going to take my scissors diagonal. So I don't want it exact, but I want it uniform. That will just help create movement in this longer hairstyle so it doesn't look flat. Worked at the top, now we just want to work at the bottom. I don't want this super layered, like I don't want short layers because I don't want it to look like a girl's haircut with a lot of volume right here. So I want this to stay long, but also layer this because it looks cool when it's kind of flippy. So just like you did with the middle mohawk down the front, I'm going to do the same thing in the back. So part about 1 inch right here in the back. Find your guide. So see how that's my guide right there. That's the very length of the haircut. You want to find your guides. And I'm going to also find this guide. So I don't want to come clear up there and match that. I want to find this layer about right there. Pull this all out. So you can see there's my first guide, there's my length, and there's my longest layer. Then I'm just going to connect those two. So now we're cutting in front over the ear. We want to be extra careful because we don't want to cut any holes over the ear. So take a section that you have cut and a section that you haven't. Now right here over the ear, I actually usually like to drop this section down. See, this is the length of the hair. We don't want to touch the length because we've already worked on that. So just take a little section, drop it down. Now we need to figure out what we need to connect those lines to. So see how there's that top layer right there. The end of his top layer is right there and the length starts right there. So that's the line that we need to connect. So just like that, see how I connected those lines? I'll show you one more time. So take a little section of what we already cut, some of what we haven't, pull that out, drop that down so you don't make any mistakes. And see, there's where I need to cut and that's where I need to connect it. So that line right there. Haircut is almost finished, but do not overlook the neckline, even if they've got longer hair. If this hair blows in the wind, you don't want to see this goodness right here. Hold this hair out of the way, take your trimmers, and get all of that unwanted neck hair. I would go up until the hairline because you want to keep this hair obviously for length, but you don't want any of that fuzzy hair. Haircut is totally done. We went from a long clipper cut to this longer hairstyle, but obviously it needed a little bit more reshape. So we just took it off, trimmed it. We're going to leave these ends so they are nice and flipping for the summer. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. And remember, you gotta save for the fun stuff.